Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to make crosstabs in Stata. And so to start off, what crosstabs are really just more complicated or more customized, I guess you'd say, tables than what you would get with just a table of descriptive statistics or frequencies or something like that. So to do that, we're going to use the table command. And so right here, this is the simple version of the table command. So it's just table and then whatever variable you want to be in your rows. So this is a simple table where we're really just populating rows. And so in this case, the data set is every school, every public school that was in operation in New Jersey in the 2017-18 school year. So there's 2,519 schools in our data set. And let's say that we want to make a table. We'll just start with the counties. We wouldn't want to do that necessarily with districts because there are 400 or 500 districts that were in operation in that year, and so it would be a very, very long table. But counties, there are fewer of those. So we'll just make a table of, we'll start with just counties. And so what happens if we do that is we get this simple frequency table. And so it just tells us how many schools are in each county, because since this is school level data, that's just 74 means that there are 74 observations in Atlantic County, which in this case, because of what the data are, means that there were 74 schools in Atlantic County in that year. But let's say that we want to make it, we want more information there. We want to kind of customize what's in this. So I'll show you the help menu, because we'll use some of the different options, but this is just to show that there are a lot more options. So what we can do here is there are all of these different kind of statistics that you can include, right? So the most common ones are probably going to be means, frequencies, ends. You can do minimum, maximum, medium, whatever you want. All of this kind of stuff. So let's make a table that, let's say that we want, just like what we see up here, we want each row to be a different county. But then let's say that we want that table to contain, we want the number of schools, which is like what we see right here, but we also want to add what's the total number of students in the county. And let's say that we want the average SAT participation. This is only going to include high schools, but that would just tell us the mean SAT participation. So we hit enter, and then this is the table we get. So county name, and then it's just added some more columns here for each of the statistics that we want. And so you can see, total number of students, mean SAT participation across high schools that were in the county. And so this is a really simple just way to show more information. You can make this a little bit more complicated if you want, put more information into one of these tables by including, say, column variables as well. So let's say that we want, let's say that we want, instead of county name, let's do district name. So this is going to give us something where every line is a district. And let's say that, acknowledging that this would be a really, really long table. If we just put all of the districts in the state there, we'd have 400 or 500 rows. Let's say that we want to look at just all of the districts within a particular county. So what we can do is just use a conditional statement. So we want if county name equals, and we know that this is a string variable. So we're going to include that in quotes. And then this is going to get us a table of every district that's in Bergen County. And it's going to show us how many schools are in the district, how many students are in the district, and what is the mean SAT participation in the in the high schools within that district. And so you can see this is a little bit longer. Maybe we'll try this again with what I know is a smaller county so that just more stuff fits on the screen. So this is just a shorter table because it's a county with a smaller population and fewer districts. Now let's say that we wanted to make this a little bit more complex. So we want district name, but then let's say that we want to look at grade span. So there are many different potential options for grade span. So this is going to be kind of a larger, clunkier table, but it's still can still show some meaningful information. So let's get rid of this SAT participation variable because that's only going to have any information for high schools. And let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to hit enter. Oops, and I forgot to delete the statistic instead of the variable and the statistic. And so what this gives us is kind of a long table or a larger table. And so this is counties still in the rows. And then each column is going to be a different grade configuration. And so in this district in Atlantic County has one school with 375 students because all we asked for was the number of schools and the total enrollment. So there's one school that's a 5 through 8. There's 375 students in it. Over here, there's got one school that's pre-K through 4th grade, and there are 493 students in that. One thing you'll notice is that the order of the grade span variable here is not the order that you might necessarily assume. It's because there's kindergarten through 2nd grade and 5th grade and 6th grade over here. And so then you see pre-K, and that's just because of the way that Stata alphabetizes things. It does the numbers first, and then it starts looking at the letters. So you would have to ahead of time, sort of change the labels of this if you wanted if you wanted the columns to go from the lowest grade range to the highest grade range or something like that. But this still gives you, some good information, and so you could use this for this feature. So if you wanted to say have district in rows, but you wanted a year to be your columns if you have data that are structured like that. So those are some of the different things that you can do with crosstabs.